Welcome everyone. Tonight is the 25th of February, and tonight we're talking about oils for furry friends. This is some information that came out of the BOGO week. So on Friday they did oils for pets, and I thought, what a great topic. So let's dive into this a little bit. I am Joni Zander. I am a wellness advocate and essential oil educator with doTERRA. I am also your team leader and team Essentially Healed. I want to start off with a terrible story. So you'll find these all over the internet. So this one, I know I covered up some of the wording. I just want you to listen for a minute. Warning, Saturday night I got home late and my dog didn't recognize me. Being a nanny, I thought I woke him up and he was having a night terror. Sunday, he was still acting weird. I realized I'd been running my new diffuser and decided to turn it off. Sunday afternoon, he was feeling better. Today at work, my dog sitter said he wouldn't come out from beneath the bed. Very odd behavior for this happy guy. Came home from work early, and again, he was very confused about who I was, so I took him to the emergency. Turns out the tea tree oil I was using in the diffuser is toxic for dogs. I didn't even put it on its body. Thankfully, tests show that his liver is okay, but we aren't out of the woods yet. It's a full 72 hours after exposure. He was given fluids under his skin to try and clear out the toxins. The vet and poison control say they are seeing more and more of these cases as the popularity of essential oils is growing. Please be sure the essential oils you are using are not toxic for dogs or cats. That is just one of many stories that are happening, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that people are using the wrong oils, so the wrong variety of oils, the wrong brands of oils, because so many brands have adulteration. doTERRA is the only one I know of. There may be other actually pure oils out there, but doTERRA is actually the only one that I know of and that is absolutely 100% pure. This is a problem because essential oils have become so popular, and you can see them, you can find them at Walmart and Target and Ross and the dollar store, and certainly on Amazon. And if you have oils that aren't actually 100% pure, and just know that the bottle can say that it's 100% pure essential oil and not be. It can be quite a lot not. It can have quite a lot of adulterated oil in it. And so a lot of people are packaging synthetic, cheaper oils and selling them as pure essential oils. And so many people just don't know the difference. So that's one thing. The other thing is that we need to know how to use essential oils safely with our pets. Some of the things that have been happening are people dousing a cat in tea tree oil. We know tea tree in doTERRA as melaleuca. This is not safe usage of essential oils for pets. So let's talk about how to use them safely. So for dogs and cats, which is what I'm going to focus on, but I just want you to know that that is not all. You can definitely use them on your large animals and other small animals. So using oils safely for dogs and cats, you want to dilute, really dilute, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. You need to really understand your pet's health status. You don't want to use oils on or near eyes, ears, nose, or the genitalia of your pet. Use a water diffuser for aromatic use, and allow your pet to roam freely with an open door to the room. So with pets, you wouldn't want to use like an ACE diffuser. You'd want to use one where you add the water to a reservoir and then add 3 or 4 drops of essential oil. It is really important that you allow your pet to choose whether they are going to stay near a diffuser or not. So you diffuse in one room, don't diffuse in every room in your house, and allow your pet to have some place that they can escape to. As per usual, be aware of pregnant, nursing young, or animals that are on certain medications. And don't use oils topically on your pet if you're also using topical medication or a dermal patch, and this does include the flea and tick preventatives. Continuing, don't give any of the products containing xylitol, so our toothpaste, our beadlets, those things to your pet. Always use therapeutic grade essential oils. I would argue always use or only use doTERRA. Observe your pet's behavior. So if you're just starting your pet on some essential oils, don't apply it and then leave your pet alone for a while. And if you do have an adverse reaction, dilute with the carrier oil. Skin irritation is the most common, and most reactions resolve within 24 to 48 hours after exposure. And of course, discontinue the use of an oil if your pet is showing signs of distress, drooling, squinting, rubbing their face, vocalization, shaking, vomiting, or diarrhea. Now, almost all the information that I'm sharing tonight is from EssentialOilVet.com. Dr. Rourke is a doTERRA wellness advocate, and she's been using doTERRA essential oils in her practice. Okay, let's talk about dilution. So this is very, very important for dogs and other small animals. Start out with your oils more diluted when introducing essential oils topically to your pet. Use carrier oils such as fractionated coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, almond oil, etc., to dilute for your essential oils. You can always increase the concentration of the desired effect if the desired effect is not reached, but it is really difficult, if not impossible, to remove an essential oil once it's been absorbed. And remember that each animal is an individual, and your pet may be more or less sensitive than others. So you definitely want to observe your behavior. They really will tell you. And you can even have your pet kind of pick out their own oils. So let's talk about some oils that are especially great for animals. So Arbor Vitae is the first one, and it has powerful cleansing and purifying properties, and it protects against the seasonal threats. It's also a great insect repellent. Emotionally, it helps your pet stay peaceful and calm. You can use it diffused or topically, but not internally with your pets. It can also be safe for all species, but you should use caution around birds. So for horses and cattle, it can be applied topically along the spine without dilution, or mixed with a carrier oil to a 1 to 2% dilution and sprayed on topically. And that same 1 to 2% dilution can also be used on larger dogs. For dogs under 15 pounds, you want to dilute a drop of oil in 1 to 2 milliliters of carrier oil and apply topically. And for dogs over 15 pounds, you would dilute 1 drop of oil in 20 drops of carrier oil. For cats and smaller animals, you'll want to dilute 1 drop in 15 milliliters of carrier oil. So a little goes a really, really long way. The next one we're going to talk about is cedarwood. Cedarwood is really good for supporting the respiratory system. It encourages proper lymphatic flow and promotes healthy urinary tract. It also is helpful with keeping them calm and warding off and repelling insects and pests. And it can promote healthy hair growth, especially when it's combined with rosemary. It does help give animals courage and strength and helps form social bond. If you're rehoming an animal, that might be a really good oil to use. So this can be diffused or used topically. And for horses, goats, and cattle, you can apply it directly to the area of interest. And if they're sensitive, just dilute it. You can go to Essential Oil Vet and get all of the specifics. So don't feel like you need to be trying to take as many notes as you can, because this is all on Dr. Rourke's website. For dogs, for aromatic use and respiratory support, and apply one topically at a dilution rate of 1 drop per 30 drops of carrier oil, and then just use 1 drop of that diluted mixture wherever it's needed or along the spine. For cats, you're going to dilute it 1 drop per 80 to 100 drops of carrier oil and then use 1 drop of the dilution. You can also, it's 2 to 3 drops in a cup of baking soda, mix it well, let it sit overnight, and then sprinkle on your kitty litter. You can also use this with reptiles, chickens, and small animals with dilution. Copaiba is one of those really magical oils. This came out a year and a half ago. It is really versatile. It's very supportive of the cardiovascular, immune, digestive, urinary, respiratory, musculoskeletal, and nervous systems. It is a powerful antioxidant, and it helps promote skin, hair, coat, mane, tail, nails, and hooves. The oil helps promote a healthy inflammatory response, and it can be used diluted on scrapes, mild cuts, and relaxes sore muscles and joints, eases the urinary tract and digestive tract, so that could be really important, especially if you're talking about horses. Supports the hepatic system, promotes the lymphatic flow, supports upper and lower respiratory tract and mucous membranes, and is a foundation for cellular health, and it also calms the nervous system. It helps the animals ease feelings of tension and promotes a sense of well-being. So it can help decrease stress and overwhelm. So you can use it with horses, goats, and cattle. You can use it with dogs. You can diffuse it for dogs and cats for aromatic use and for respiratory support. For dogs, you want to dilute it 1 drop per 30 to 50 drops of carrier oil and then apply 1 drop of the mixture. You can also use it internally with your dogs. You can mix it in with the wet food or in a capsule. For cats, diffusion is preferred, but you can apply it topically 1 drop per 80 to 100 drops of carrier oil, and then again using 1 drop of the diluted mixture. Internal use is generally not indicated with cats, but a toothpick drop in a wet food may be used in some cases. So just know your cat. It can also be used with birds, reptiles, chickens. Aren't chickens birds? And small mammals. Frankincense, as we know, is, our king of oils. It's known to promote cellular health and immunity, and it can be used with the copaiba to make the copaiba work even better. You can also use it to soothe skin that is irritated, itchy, or damaged, especially with lavender. And it also relaxes and soothes sore muscles and joints in older animals. This one is particularly good for animals who have problems trusting, and for animals who've been tricked too many times. They've had poor training and been kind of have PTSD from their old training. It's great for transitions, both in humans and in animals, and it's really good for that transition of adopting a new pet. It helps create a stronger bond with your animals, and it helps animals with the feelings of abandonment and feeling unconnected. So it promotes feelings of peace and trust, which are all super important with animals that have been adopted. You can use this with horses and cattle. For dogs, you want to dilute 1 drop in 20 to 50 drops of carrier oil, and then give 1 drop of the mixture mixed with food or apply topically. For cats, water diffusion is preferred. You can apply it topically 1 drop per 100 drops of carrier oil to apply to the area of concern or by petting along the spine. It is also safe to diffuse around reptiles and small mammals. of course, we know lavender is for all things calming. It's great when an animal feels anxious. And we know some animals are more anxious than others. And so if you have a dog or a cat who is, especially a dog, who is fearful of loud noises um, or new people, this can be one that is really good for you. The oil is excellent to use in transitions such as bringing a new puppy home that may miss their mother, including a new horse to the herd, or if you're moving. So you can use it for horses and cattle. For dogs, dilute 1 drop to 20 to 50 drops of carrier oil. For cats, 1 drop per 100 drops of carrier oil. Otherwise, it's kind of similar instructions. And lastly, we've got peppermint. So with peppermint, you're going to use it to cool, either to cool sore muscles or just to cool in general. Energize a tired animal or soothe upset stomachs. Also know that you can use Digestin, especially with your large animals. You can use this with horses and cattle. You can dilute it for dogs, 1 drop to 100 to 150 drops of carrier oil. For cats, you can dilute it, but they need to be able to leave the room. Okay. So, so that's just an overview of some of the oils that are great to use. So let's go over the ones that you should not use, especially with cats. Cats have a long list. They metabolize things differently than dogs. So with cats, you want to avoid basil, all of the citrus oils, birch, cinnamon, clove, dill, fennel, melaleuca or tea tree, oregano, peppermint, thyme, rosemary, spearmint, and wintergreen. Again, you can get this list. I can also post the slides in our group. And for dogs, you want to avoid birch, tea tree, or melaleuca and wintergreen, and then really watch when you're using the hot oils. So oregano, cassia, cinnamon, clove, rosemary, and thyme. So just use a little extra caution, just like you would a child. And then I just wanted to share with you, this is a rejuvenating skin spray. It's great for dogs that have been licking and causing skin irritations. It is safe for animals, but you definitely want to dilute it even more for the smaller animals. And so I will post this in our Facebook group because it's just a great graphic. So you're going to just take a spray bottle and some lavender, frankincense, and myrrh. You can also add a couple of drops of helichrysum and 1 tablespoon of colloidal silvers. The colloidal silver can be found either online or in a health food store. And then top off the spray bottle with 100% pure aloe vera. You're just going to mix it and shake it before you use it, and spray the area of irritation 2 to 3 times per day. I know some of you have more experience with essential oils and animals than others of you. So does anyone want to share any experiences that they have?
I had been using a flea and tick medication from the vet, and after I had used it for a few months, my little dog began having seizures. I have no idea whether it was the flea and tick medication. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what caused it, but that's the only thing that changed in her life. So I quit giving it to her. She had 1 seizure, and then a month later she had another one, and at that time I started putting essential oils on her. I looked up seizure medication, seizure oils in my book, and I'm thinking now, after what you're saying, I should probably dilute it, but I usually take a drop of clary sage. I'll put it on my finger, and just take that one on my finger, and I put it on the back of her neck, and then I'll do lavender and do that on the back of her neck. And I do that about every other day or so. And she went for 2 months without a seizure. And I quit using it after about a month, thinking, oh, good, she's fine, she's fine. So she went for a month without it, and then she had another seizure. So I don't know if any of this is relevant, but I figured the oils couldn't hurt her, and if anything, they were going to help. And so that's what I am doing. And then, of course, I make my own fly spray for the winter or for the summer. For my horses, and then I continued to put it on, and I got a recipe. It was probably from that particular vet, because I had the handouts, or the tear pad,
Mm-hmm.
and I continued to use that fly spray into the fall, and it seemed to help several things. The rain rot, didn't get rain rot this year, which usually happens, and the tick population was really bad this year, and my horses, the ones that I put the spray on into the fall, they didn't get the ticks either. So I'm really pleased with the way the oils have been working for me, and I feel so good that it's not a toxic chemical that I'm using on them.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the ways that. But I had a question. You said or it said avoid melaleuca on dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was wondering, because I use that if they get a cut or something. And was there something else that I could use then on them rather than melaleuca?
Well, certainly you can use the the spray that I just shared. That's what that is for.
For
Um,
cuts and things?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Couldn't you use frankincense for cuts also?
yeah, and I think that she was actually recommending Copaiba. Let me look here.
Yes, I saw that for the horses, but for dogs too?
Yeah, and also use petitgreen and lemon are a couple of other recommended oils with the pets.
Okay.
And the petitgreen would be good for the cuts. Let me look for sure, but I'm pretty sure that that was one.
Well, if it's the Copaiba, well then I could do that. I just, my go-to for me is the Melaleuca, and so I just need to be able to change it up in my brain for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I did use it on my horse too, because I caught her up in a fence, and I had my emergency kit with me. I carry it everywhere I go, and so I had Melaleuca there, and I used it on her immediately, and of course it didn't swell, it didn't turn red, it didn't healed up really, really well.
Very nice.
That's probably because a horse has more body mass too than a dog.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that you guys know about my favorite pet resource. This is Spoil Your Pet. You can find this at Aroma Tools or any of the tool companies that support doTERRA Wellness Advocates. I would recommend only getting reference guides from those companies, just because then that they're going to be referencing doTERRA oils. If you get an essential oil reference book from just Amazon that you don't know is kind of tied to our oils, they're going to have some weird recommendations, like not using oils internally at all, or things like that, because they have to, they're using, any oil. So
Does that book specifically have for large animals, for horses?
this one is dogs and cats, but I know that there is one for horses, or one that talks about horses.
And doTERRA did have tear pads. I don't know if they still do or not, but early on they had tear pads for horses,
Yes,
cats and dogs.
I've got
and
those.
the
All right. Well, this was kind of a big topic for just a half hour, but that was kind of an overview. And there's, definitely check out EssentialOilVet.com, all smashed together as one word. And because she's really good. She's kind of the primary vet that consults with doTERRA on essential oil usage with animals.
And she was at convention last year,
Mhm.
and she's from Texas.
Yes. Yeah, and you can check out her YouTube as well, is really good. So she's got some great videos out there on essential oils and animals.
Cool.
And there are also some Facebook groups for using doTERRA with animals. So you can just search those.
Well,
And
thank you for all of your research on that for us.
yeah, you're welcome. All right, everyone have a great night.